I'm Christian Schaefer with your WMAR 2 News Update. More calls for reform of the Baltimore Police Department after that man suffering from a mental health crisis was shot and wounded by police officers earlier this month. It was early on the morning of July 1st. Ricky Walker Jr. was shot and wounded by those officers in the basement of his family's home on Falkirk Road in Northeast Baltimore. Police say Walker was suffering from a mental health crisis, and they say he pointed a gun at the officers. That's when the officers shot him. This week, civil rights groups wrote a letter to Baltimore City's mayor, the state's attorney, and the police commissioner. They want a 24-hour mobile crisis team to be implemented along with crisis stabilization centers that would be able to take 911 calls and connect people with the services they need during a mental health crisis. Baltimore City Police Department's been operating under a consent decree with the U.S. Justice Department since 2017, so 4 times a year a federal judge meets with leaders from the police department and the city to make sure the police are complying with the reforms laid out in the consent decree. The hearing for this quarter was yesterday at the federal courthouse in downtown Baltimore, and the judge overseeing that case, James Bradar, said that any move to, quote, defund the police is not an option in Baltimore, that he says the department needs to be fully funded to implement those reforms which are spelled out in the consent decree. Also at that hearing, Judge Bradar talked about the Ricky Walker case out of Northeast Baltimore. He said the officers there were patient in their response, but that Walker wound up being shot and critically wounded anyway. The judge said, quote, better outcomes require a more robust infrastructure in the city to deal with mental health crises so these cases don't fall exclusively or even mostly on the police to address. And new restrictions to slow the spread of the coronavirus go back into effect today. In Anne Arundel County, starting this evening, bars and restaurants will have to stop indoor operations by 10 o'clock every night. So there can be no more than 25 people at any indoor social gathering, and 50 is the maximum number for outdoor gatherings. And the seating area in mall food courts are going to be closed. There's also going to be stricter penalties for people and for businesses that violate these new regulations. In Baltimore City, they're suspending all indoor dining. That goes into effect at 5 o'clock tonight. There's also new requirements on wearing facial coverings in the city. Even outdoors, you're going to have to wear a mask at outdoor team sports or fitness classes, and also at certain outdoor gatherings such as picnics.
You're watching WMAR 2 News with Chief Meteorologist Lynette Charles.
Happy Friday, everyone. On this Friday, we are tracking temperatures that are going to be a little bit cooler, right? Air quotes, as we are still going to be quite humid, so that's going to make us feel still more like we are in the low 90s for today. So we're also going to be tracking mainly dry weekend ahead. So I know you want it dry for the weekend, but we actually do need the rain, and that is a good thing that we're actually getting that rain out there this morning. More scattered showers and thunderstorms are possible as we head more towards the afternoon for today, and then we'll pick that pattern back up as we head into the beginning of next week, because again, the weekend should be mainly dry. The humidity's out there already. It's going to stay that way through the weekend into the beginning of next week. So it's only going to get more humid, and it's going to get hotter as well as we head into the weekend and beyond. So the futurecast for today, again, we had the rain this morning, and as we go into the afternoon, we will have some dry time with some sunshine, but then we could see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms fire. The further to the south around Talbot County, around Caroline County, portions of those counties, we could see the potential for some of the thunderstorms maybe to turn severe, and the Storm Prediction Center actually does have us in a marginal risk. The biggest threat will be damaging gusty winds today if that does come to fruition. But out the door, we are going to be dealing with temperatures above average, and as we go into the afternoon today, I'm going with the high in the upper 80s. So that forecast holds true. That means that the heat wave was broken for today, but then, Christian, it comes right back because temperatures will stay in the 90s for the next several days as we head into the weekend. It is going to be a rough go of things, especially on Monday.
And the Baltimore Orioles get their 2020 season started tonight. Taking the mound on opening night is going to be Tommy Malone. He was signed by the Orioles as a minor league free agent earlier this year. As you see, he's a left-hander there, and he will replace another left-hander, John Means, who was the team's only all-star last season. Means has arm fatigue in his left pitching arm. First pitch at Fenway Park set for 7:30 tonight. Let's go O's. Stay with us online at WMAR2news.com all day long for updates on top stories and breaking news. And for news and weather on the go, you can download the WMAR2 News app. It's in the App Store. It's got live radar, and you can set up breaking news alerts to come straight to your phone or tablet. You can also follow us on social media at WMAR2 News. Thanks for watching. I'm Christian Schaefer.
This WMAR 2 News Update is sponsored by Jones Junction,